Our next inductee, propelled by his love of people and horses, reached the highest level of the sport. Many well-established relationships during a remarkable 40-year career seemed to guide him to a high number of prized winning drives, as was the case with the Hall of Fame members In Vitro, Admiral's Express, and of course, the incomparable Some Beach Somewhere. Amazing statistics, championship status, and marquee successes verify his inclusion here. But the true mark of this man is his winning personality. The Canadian Horse Racing Hall of Fame is very proud to induct Paul MacDonell.
Oshawa, Ontario native Paul MacDonell's driving career is highlighted by both consistency and superstars. After initially working for his father Blaze and local trainer Gary Gassian at Kawartha Downs, Paul moved to the stable of future Hall of Famer Doug Brown as his second trainer on the OJC circuit, and eventually working for another Hall of Famer, Bill Wellwood. During his career, MacDonell has driven a long list of millionaire horses, including Village Jiffy, Village Connection, Elusive Desire, Big Time Ball, and Laddie. Then there are the Hall of Fame horses whose careers he contributed to: Admiral's Express, In Vitro, and of course the horse with which his name is synonymous, the great Some Beach Somewhere. As Some Beach Somewhere's only driver throughout the horse's 21 race career, MacDonell piloted the once-in-a-lifetime pacing colt to every milestone and record he set in 2007 and 2008.
He's big, he's strong, and he has got it going on! Some Beach Somewhere and Paul MacDonell by 4. Cup 25 to Canada's horse.
The Guelph residents' major stakes victories include a North America Cup, 3 Metro Paces, 5 Confederation Cups, and 8 Breeders' Crowns, as well as 16 Ontario Sire Stakes Superfinals to his credit. The popular and affable driver received an O'Brien Award as the 2008 Canadian Driver of the Year. When his induction to the Canadian Horse Racing Hall of Fame was announced, he had chalked up more than 5,600 wins, 15,000 top 3 finishes, and driven horses to purse earnings surpassing $122 million, including 33 consecutive years of at least $1 million.
Making the presentation to Paul MacDonell are his father, Blaze MacDonell, Brent McGrath, the co-owner of Some Beach Somewhere, and also Paul's grandson, Griffin MacDonald.
Harness racing is a family business, and I wouldn't be here without my family. The people both in my own family and my extended family in this amazing industry. I missed a lot of important family engagements over the years while driving horses, so I want to take this opportunity to thank my wife Lynn and our daughters Jenna, Shelby, and Lauren for their support and understanding. My parents, Blaze and Mary Lou, got me started in the business. My father was the first one to bring me to the racetrack when I was just a boy. If I was lucky, I would get to go to Greenwood and watch the big stake races. I can remember being starstruck by the excitement of it all. It was then I knew I was hooked. Before long, I was reading everything I could get my hands on and about harness racing, stories in the newspaper, race programs, you name it. When I was 17, my father bought me a horse named Dandy J. Might. He was a horse that I drove in qualifiers, got my rated mile with my license, and he got me my first lifetime win. I learned a lot from driving that horse, and I think Dad knew that he was the kind of horse that was very valuable to gain experience. Later, My wife's family were critical to my success. They owned a horse named Robin's Wonder. He was my first big-time horse. I'll never forget representing Canada with him in 1986 Roosevelt International Trot. 4 years later, I was blessed to win my first Breeders' Crown with Bay's Fella. As for my extended family, I owe so many people, but particularly Doug and Nancy Brown, the Wellwood family, Bill, Jean, Paula, John and Vicki Bax, Gord and Pat Irwin, and Brent and Rhonda McGrath. Those incredible people and many more were kind enough to put me up behind some phenomenal horses, and none of us would be here tonight without the horses. It means more to me than I can properly express to be associated with incredible athletes like Dandy J. Might, Robin's Wonder, Bay's Fella, Define the World, Village Jiffy, In Vitro, Lifetime Dream, Admiral's Express, and many more. Perhaps, most importantly, I'll always cherish the opportunity I had to drive the amazing Some Beach Somewhere. I have been friends with Brent and Rhonda McGrath ever since Brent arrived in Greenwood in 1985 with a small stable. We were in our 20s then, and neither of us could have ever imagined that one day Some Beach Somewhere would come into our lives and forever change the sport. But looking back, in a sport built on families and relationships, I couldn't think of a better way for it all to turn out. I am deeply honored here tonight and humbled, and I think that all that's left to say is thank you.